Hello, and welcome to the channel. This is Vendetta, and today we're going to be playing some Rome 2. Now, I know what you're all thinking. What the fuck, Vendetta? You have not posted a Rome video pretty much since the game came out. Well, funny you should say that, because the other day I was doing some live commentating with Unrivaled Skyrim, who's one of the TWN admins. He is currently doing a 2v2 tournament on Rome 2. I did some co-commentating with him, and I actually rather enjoyed it. Also, they seem to have optimized the game a lot better as well, so CA, props to you for that. And when I say that, I mean as in, I can now play the game at extreme settings, with anti-aliasing, anthropic filtering, like, you name it, I got it, pretty much. And the game is running really smoothly, like, ridiculously smoothly, as in, I'm pretty much getting about 80 FPS. I know, right? 80 FPS. But I thought, why not? Let's play some games, because hopefully the game may be a bit more fixed. My FPS is, pretty decent now, and I can play the game in extreme, which is rather nice. Of course, it does drop a little bit when I use fraps, which is a bit unfortunate. Right now, it's running at about 50 FPS. When I zoom in, it goes down to about it says about 26 there, but of course we are recording with fraps. Normally I would use OBS, however OBS doesn't really seem to translate very well into my Sony Vegas for some reason, so I might have to do some work with that. I mean, it has before, but hey. Anyway, let's get on with it. So I played this match a little bit earlier. I have been playing a few matches over the past couple of nights. Unfortunately, I've only just realised that I have to save replays instantly, so got a bit of an issue there. But we'll let the game progress while we talk. So I did have some very, very good battles and some ones which are quite hilarious. So, for example, I played against a guy who's playing Parthia. I thought, okay, Parthia, they're going to be, bringing a douchebag army, so we're going to be fighting against probably some bow cav and some heavy melee cav. So I decided to play Macedon, and I bring a shit ton of pikes and a shit ton of archers and slingers, and he basically lost instantly. He gave up, quit the game. I played against him a second time in consecutively. I thought, great, he's going to do the exact same thing. He did the exact same thing, except he bought fixed artillery. So I could actually, for some reason, I could actually see his units in the deployment phase. I think it's because, obviously, line of sight. I think that works in the deployment phase as well, which is a bit unfair, but hey. So I saw that he just had 2 fixed artillery, and my army was right in front of it. Of course, I was going to noob box as I did in the previous game. So he started the game early, which was a big mistake, because then I just simply selected all my units, put them in the corner of the map, press start game, and then ran them over to the corner, and he basically just dropped because his fixed artillery couldn't hit me. So, had some good games, and I found that, my micro is beginning to come back, because I haven't really played much Total War recently. I'm not big on the campaign, because I find the campaign to be quite boring, across generally most of the Total Wars. I don't really feel like there's much of a challenge. I get a bit bored of the repetitive sieges all the time. I mean, in Rome 2, I feel like I'm attacking the same town all the time, and it's just getting a bit boring. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, and the AI is just retarded as fuck. It's like it's on LSD, while sniffing crack cocaine. It's literally that bad. But anyway, I've been playing some Rome 2 online, and I just thought I would show you some games. So what I will quickly do is go over the armies. I should have 4 legionary cohorts up front. I've then got 3 Hastati. I've then also got 5 Syrian auxiliary archers, 3 auxiliary infantry, which of course are spearmen, a general who is a medium commander, and we've then also got 2 equites and 2 Praetorian cavalry. Now, do not take the piss out of me for any of the units that I have brung. I am not accustomed to Rome 2 as of yet, so I'm still testing the waters a little bit, but we're getting there. And I am just, finding my feet. I haven't quite lost the game since I've come back. Although I think in this one it was pretty close, as you'll see. It could be pretty close. I don't know. You tell me. Put down in the comment section whether you thought that this was a close match. But, for the most part, I pretty much won all the games. And I'm trying to find an opponent who is really tough. I've had one extremely tough game where I was playing as Sparta and he was playing as Macedon, and that was very, very tough, and it was backwards and forwards, and it was a fantastic game to play. And it's a big shame I couldn't save the replay for it either. But hey ho, you live and learn. So, his army literally consists of loads of levy pikemen. He's got some hoplites as well, so he's got militia hoplites. He's then also got some mercenary cretin archers. I usually bring those guys, they're very, very good. Then we've also got over here some companion cav, and Sarissa cavalry. He's got 2 of those guys. I think he has got some more cavalry hidden over here with his general, but we'll see if he does reveal those later. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So, he has just taken his cavalry all the way around the back. I'm not really sure why he's done this, because effectively he's cut off these 2 units. All I have to do is take over my 4 cavalry, close in, and, I've closed in on him. I've taken 2 of these cavalry units out. His companion cav is way over here. GG, well played. He's already down 2 units, and I'm basically going to go on a steam train rolling over his face. However, he realizes his mistake, and he begins to charge back ever so graciously in just a second. There you go, as predicted. Now, I'm not really sure what he was trying to do with this, because I always bring spear infantry. My main kind of infantry fighting force will consist of normally some heavy sword units or pike units, and then I'll have some lighter units on the flanks, and I'll always have some spear infantry in the rear, maybe on the sides, and maybe in the centre to protect those archers, because I do like to bring a nice large skirmishing component. Now, I do nearly catch his units over here. I do have a micro lapse where my units do stop for a brief second, so do his. But this is where it gets interesting. He's now going to pull over his companion cav, and this will force me to disengage. Simple as that. So you would have thought, yeah, Vendetta's got this, but the issue is, if I charge all in, these units, while they're weak, they'll take time to chop down, which means that will give his companion cav a chance to get down over here. They'll have a downhill charge into the rear of my units, and I pretty much don't want that, so I think to myself, okay, great, his units are already separated pretty much from his army, so I'm just going to take my cavalry and pull back up the hill. His army is just kind of sat here, not really doing too much. He's now pulling away his units here. He's got some more companion cav, and his general is a companion cav as well, so very heavy shock units. This is one thing I wish they'd take out of the game. I wish they would have a nice, simple category system like Shogun 2. That's all they need. So, for example, just have light cav, heavy cav. That's all you need. You don't need anything else, just light cav and heavy cav. I hate all this heavy shock cav, heavy melee cav, light melee cav, this. Just take all that bullshit out and just have light cav, heavy cav. That's all you need. Because as you'll see here, I'll go in, I'll charge in an equite unit. The companion cav didn't lose 1 man. Now, I don't know who you are. Whether you're fucking Superman or something, and your only weakness is kryptonite, you should not be able to take a downhill charge from a man on a horse with a spear while standing still. It's just impossible. So immediately my equite unit got wrecked. It's one of the mechanics which I don't like, the fact that I downhill charged whilst they were still. It's not really good, in my opinion. That's one of the mechanics I wish they'd... Because there are only a few things I have wrong with Rome 2, and that's one of them. Just too many categories of units, generally too many statistics, and also there's an issue with mechanics like that where downhill charge, you've got every advantage possible, yet you still can't kill the unit. So it's just a few things like that which I think they should probably touch up on. Anyway, so I engaged the light equite unit, light cavalry let's call it, and it did no damage pretty much, let's be honest. I think it would have taken down a bit of their health, and then I charged in the Praetorian cav. Both my Praetorian cav, Vicing, 2 companion cav, and I think 3 Sarissa cav as well. This companion cav over here is not really doing too much. But what I did do is I charged in my auxiliary infantry. Now, the reason I like to have a third auxiliary, or like a third spear unit, is to support this cavalry that's coming in. So what you normally see me bringing is a fair amount of light cav, maybe 2-3 light cav, and then 2 heavy cavalry. And then what I'll do is I'll then run in a spear unit just behind for some support. And in that Spartan versus Macedon game, which unfortunately I didn't save, that is exactly what I did, and it made me capture the hill because the Macedonian guy, even though he had 4 companion cav to my 3 citizen cavalry when I was playing Sparta, he didn't want to engage because I had Spartan youths, which of course are spear infantry. So they are very, very good as a deterrent, as to ward off, cavalry units. And they really do turn this around. I mean, look at it. I've only got 2 Praetorian cav versus pretty much 2 Sarissa cavalry plus his general, who is a companion cav, and then 3 more companion cav. So I'm already wrecking all of this pretty much. And you will see that I do actually manage to come out with 2 Praetorian cavalry. Plus my auxiliary still left, so that's not bad going. I did pull over my general and do some demoralising abilities. However, noob as I am, I forgot to do Draco, so big slap in the wrist for me. I need to, as I said, I'm finding my feet, I'm finding the water, and his general will inevitably die right here on this spot pretty much. I think this is a general here. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for this guy to die. Is he the general? And no, he's not the general. Oh no, he probably is a general, just the voiceover isn't going. And immediately we've got another companion cavalry coming over right now. We've only lost 9 men, I assume back from routing. And some more companion cavalry, we've got 13 men left, beasts. And I'm going to try and pull my cavalry back, and then I'll intercept them with my auxiliaries. I'd managed to take 2 or 3 of them out there, and immediately they're going to begin to rout. And I don't think I managed to get Praetorian Guard dead. But I mean, if you look at it, I've got half of this unit left, and I've got more than half of this unit left, so that was a massive win for me. We're talking 4 companion cav, 2 Sarissa cavalry, and I pretty much just lost 2 equites, about most of this unit, which an auxiliary infantry is only, I think, about 400. So a very, very cost efficient battle, very, very well played. Again, backing up with some spears, always a fantastic idea. Most people forget to do that, but it is definitely a worthwhile thing. Now, what I should have done here is I should have just broken off the charge, because what you'll see is you'll see me chase after this. These auxiliaries are not going to get him. Look at them, the poor fellows are just absolutely tired, out of their minds. And these Praetorian Guard are going to try and chase down. This one horse is like, no, don't forget me, don't leave me behind. But I don't know why he's got some, do not leave me behind. I don't know why he's got some African voice, but hey, we'll roll with it. And pretty much, these guys will just turn around and slap my willy sideways. They're just going to kick these Praetorian cav in the butt. I'm not really too sure why. I think it's mainly the downhill charge, but they're both exhausted. My guys are very tired, but I think maybe I was just on a move order rather than an attack order. That would be my best guess. But I did do Draco for this one. However, Draco did nothing. Therefore, proves that Draco does nothing. I'm just joking. Don't rip into this video just because of that little comment. So, yeah, these guys are pretty much going to get routed. Kind of gives my guys a little bit of a chance to catch up, but again, his cavalry are going to be in and out, as quick as a man in a brothel. They're going to be right out. And I was going to pull down my general just to do like a rear charge, again to try and hold them down for my auxiliaries to get there. But I thought, end of the day, not really worth it. Like I was saying earlier, over here, 2 of his cavalry are trapped. He's got some companion cav running over, weigh up the options. Is it really worth committing all of my cavalry to these 2 units when he's got companion cav coming in? No, it's not. So it's the same principle. Don't always just go for an advantage or an opening just because you see it. Try and think a bit logically here. It's better to retain and not get killed rather than try and take too many risks, sort of a thing. Too much risk for little reward. I mean, if it was, let's say if there were 2 companion cav over here, swap the units around. If it was 2 companion cav running away, and there was Sarissa cav coming in support, I probably would have just gone for those companion cav, because companion cav, off the top of my head, don't quote me on this, I think it's somewhere between 900 and 1300 for one companion cav. Again, don't quote me on that. I don't know all the units, and I don't know the prices for all of them. However, these are expensive units, and they're very, very good. Ganging up 4 on 2 over there would have been a very, very worthwhile risk to take. But it seems that it was Sarissa cav, that's not really worth trying to go for. So what we're going to do is that I wish they would get rid of this stupid timer down here. Who abides by the timer? It's just, I can't believe they still have that. But yeah, so I mean, there's a few design decisions in this game which are a little bit meh, but I'm still enjoying the game a lot, and the game has been fixed up, it feels like, quite a bit. The AI is still retarded, as I said. The graphics and the optimization is far, far better than it once was. And by the way, I'm only running a i5 with a 7870, so I'm still getting all of this FPS, which is fantastic. I mean, right now I'm recording about 40 FPS, so they really have gone through and optimized the game a lot. I mean, if I shoved in my other graphics card in there, you know, where I got Crossfire, I'm sure it'd be much, much more. Anyway, so what's going to happen is that I was actually going to move up and attack him whilst he was on the hill because I wasn't really too bothered. I was very, very confident in my ability to take him down with the army I've got, because the reason I went with this army, and I think it's very, very worthwhile saying why I had this army, is basically my meat grinders are at the front, so I've got the legionary cohort, so a very, very strong center. But I find that most battles are fought not in the center of the armies, but it's fought on the flanks of the armies. So I've actually got some rather weak flanking units, which are just my Hastati. So a lot of people probably be quite surprised that I brought Hastati, but they're cheap units. They've got pretty decent, attack, and they're mainly for flanking. And I knew playing as Macedon, he's going to be bringing some pikemen, so it would have been a very, very good idea. Now, what we're going to do is that he's trying to shoot at all of my legionaries with, and my Hastati as well, with his with bow units, I'm assuming. Yeah, because it's cretin archers. I call them cretin archers, a bunch of cretins. And basically, I went into the tortoise. The turtle, I'll just call it the turtle. So I went into the turtle, and all that up down the line, and that kind of forces him forward because he feels like he kind of has to go up. But the incredible thing is, none of my guys actually die, I think, from this skirmishing phase. But I mean, if you look at my Syrian archers, they're just going to absolute town. I mean, this unit's got 23 kills. This one's got 24, 25, this one's got 20, this has got 22, and this one's got 21. So, across the board, we've already killed, over 100 men, which is fantastic. Look at them, we're dropping them absolutely massively here. And I'm not using any special ammo, I'm just using the standard shot, because I find that, I'd rather get the accuracy in rather than try and get more damage and less accuracy. I'd rather go for the accuracy, if I'm perfectly honest. And also, because their general is dead at this point, just going for single shot I think is a pretty good idea, and then I will go into whistling arrows in just a second. Now what you should be doing at this point, you should be charging forward and engaging me as quickly as possible, because at the moment I completely out-skirmish him. There's no way that he can, possibly take out, if you look, he's still trying to shoot at them. So I put them back into the turtle, and he still killed none of them. So he's not going to win this skirmishing phase at all with 5 Syrian archers against 2 cretin mercenary archers. It's not going to happen. So his best chance is to just flat out charge me. However, when he was moving up, I did charge in. I did a suicide run with my Praetorian cav and just charged straight into this unit. And pretty much up and down the line, he starts to break. This unit's still holding strong. And I'm just going to pull around my Hastati around the side to make them feel a bit flanked. Friends are routing, shaken, wavering, all of that good stuff. And pretty much up and down the line, he's basically completely routed. Pretty much without even dropping a drop of blood, I should say. Without even crossing swords. Yes, that sounds a little bit gay, but without even crossing swords, we've basically routed his army. Because I think I did put on what are they called, whistling arrows. There you go, you can hear them. And then I'll start doing it to his bows as well, and I'll start charging at his bows. He then does a suicide run with his companion cav, the one that he had left, but he's just gone and done it straight into an auxiliary Hastati as well. These militia hoplites are really going to stand no chance. They're eager and confident though. Those guys taking on my whole army. Good luck with that one. And yeah. I'd say that's pretty much the game. I haven't lost any Hastati in either of these two. I've lost 9 men in that legionary cohort. I've lost 5 men in this one. Really, I've just they're still in their formations, look. So yeah, and that's pretty much the game. I just played that one, so it was pretty nice to play. I might do some live ones, but we'll go off to the results screen, as always. I'm gonna load the replay. So here we are at the results. There you go. Deployed 2,000 men. He deployed 1,900 pretty much. Well, basically deployed about the same. I only had 400 losses, less than 400 losses, and he had, about a third of his army taken away, and immediately, we slapped him. We slapped him pretty hard with a big oily fish around the face. It mainly came down to the cavalry engagement, because, if you look at his cavalry, look at the amount of cav that just got wrecked. I mean, this unit did well, and this unit did pretty good as well. But for the rest of them, if you're getting below the amount of kills, comparative to the amount of men you bring. So I think companion cav, what was it, 60 companion cav he had? I'm not entirely sure on that. I think it was 60 in one unit. If you're getting below that with a companion cav unit, you're doing something wrong. You're not maximizing the cost efficiency basically. This unit did fantastically well, but the rest of them did not do very well. It all comes down to the way you engage and managing to pin him down. I mean, these Equites got 2 kills, but it's not always about the kills. They managed to get down, hold his companion cav down, and it managed to make me come in with my Praetorian cavalry and just clean house. I mean, these guys both got, between them, they got 200 kills exact. So you can't really argue with the effectiveness of that. This unit, again, for pinning down, chasing down. Even my general got 3 kills. But, I mean, these units got 91 kills. The auxiliary infantry, that was against companion cav, Sarissa cav. So, supporting with spear infantry, very, very, very good idea to sort of go for. Archers, fantastic job. All over about 50 kills. 3 of them in the 70s, nearly 80s. So, I wasn't really directing. It was nice because all of my archers started firing at the same time, and they started firing all the way down his line. Instead of just focusing one unit, try and focus as many units as you can because, if you're only firing or focus firing on one unit, then that unit's gonna, get destroyed and broken pretty quickly. However, if you manage to shoot the whole army with arrows, you will destroy, the health of that army. You'll take down men, you'll take down morale, of each and every unit. So instead of just breaking and, routing one unit and having the rest of their, full army strength, don't necessarily tell your archers where to go. Unless there's a really high value target that you want to go for, just tell them to, just fire at will. Just fire up and down the line like you did there. I reduced their whole army down, and then I flipped to whistling arrows when they were very low, and bang, Bob's your uncle, and they broke. Mean what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levy pikemen didn't get any kills at all. 2 of them broke with full health. Only 1 of them got kills, and they got 8 kills. Again, you can't really argue with that kind of statistic. That's how I used my archers to their max effectiveness, and that's again why I brought archers to this, because I knew I need to have some strong infantry in the front, so he will not engage me. I need to have some light attacking infantry. Excuse me, some light attacking infantry to flank him around the sides, which is the starty. You've then got the spear infantry to protect your back line and your archers, and the archers just pick away, at the pikemen. I mean, I had no intention of engaging those legionary cohorts with the levy pikemen at all. If he had advanced, I would have actually pulled those legionaries back, and I would have just engaged the Hastati around the flanks and just kited him basically until his line broke up, and then I would have charged on the legionary cohorts. That's how I would have played it. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the battle. So I hope you enjoyed. Please put a comment down below if you would like to see some more of these. I have got, I'm playing a lot more of this, so hopefully I will do some more. But yeah, hope you enjoy, guys. GG.